want to ask you a question, and that is, what is in your life's blueprint? This is the most important and crucial period of your lives, for what you do now and what you decide now at this age may well determine which way your life shall go.
So I appreciate Dr. King's words. I've always had an affinity for Dr. King, like most people. But I think that there are some things that we don't realize that he did and that he believed in, that we don't talk about too often. Too often we hear the, I have a dream speech, and the protest, the peaceful protest, loving our neighbor, and the nonviolence and things like that. But there were all these other little nuances about him that have always intrigued me. One thing was he was very much into education. You probably heard from the clip, the blueprint, Life's Blueprint, that when he was talking to these young people, he talked to them about the importance of getting their education, right? And he mired that with economic sustainability.
Number one in your life's blueprint should be a deep belief in your own dignity, your own worth, and your own somebodyness. Don't allow anybody to make you feel that you are nobody. Always feel that you count. Always feel that you have worth. And always feel that your life has ultimate significance.
And of course, a lot of us, some of us, are more Malcolm X fans. I know I was when I was younger. I remembered of a story where Malcolm X was asked by his teacher what he wanted to be, and the teacher said, he said, what do you want to be? And he said, I want to be a lawyer. And he said, black people, they're not lawyers. They can't be lawyers. You should do something more practical, something with your hands. And of course, that had a huge impact on him, a negative impact on him. And so it's funny that Dr. Martin Luther King, one thing he said in that speech was, you're going to have to learn sometimes under intolerable conditions. And I think too often we think that because there's an obstacle in our way, that gives us the excuse to stop fighting and to stop moving forward. And so I appreciate him for that. And I think that's something we can learn even for today.
Now, in your life's blueprint, be sure that you have that a principle of somebodyness. Secondly, in your life's blueprint, you must have as a basic principle the determination to achieve excellence in your various fields of endeavor. You're going to be deciding as the days and the years unfold what you will do in life, what your life's work will be. And once you discover what it will be, set out to do it and to do it well. And I say to you, my young friends, that doors are opening to each of you. Doors of opportunity are opening to each of you that were not open to your mothers and to your fathers. And the great challenge facing you is to be ready to enter these doors as they open.
A couple of other things that kind of resonate with me, little things that people don't know about him. I know everybody knows that he went to Morehouse, but a lot of people don't realize that he was a sociology major. So I think that shows how much entrenched into the community he was to choose a field that's basically probably the most altruistic field in the humanities you can pick. He also went to Boston University, and it's a little known fact, but in his biography, if you read it, he probably did as many philosophy classes as he did theology classes. His PhD was in systematic theology, and so he studied everybody from Plato to Aristotle, John Locke, Hobbes, existentialism, and he just rattled through them. And during that entire time, he was actually looking for the best philosophical principle to use in order to lift his people out of the plight. And of course, he settled on kind of civil disobedience, Thoreau's civil disobedience, and then of course Gandhi's nonviolent movement that he did in India in years past. And so that was always fascinating because I was a philosophy major in college, and I loved it, but where he used it to actually help others, I think I just had this thirst for knowledge, and I was curious. But he graduated. Another thing was he graduated from the university. He actually didn't walk because he couldn't afford it. His wife was pregnant, and he didn't have the money to walk across the stage, and so that didn't stop him. I think a few months later he would do the Montgomery bus boycotts, and then he would, of course, win the Nobel Peace Prize. And so he never let any obstacles stop him, and he always was reaching for those educational principles and reaching to be a better person and to better society.
Finally, in your life's blueprint must be a commitment to the eternal principles of beauty, love, and justice. Don't allow anybody to pull you so low as to make you hate them. Don't allow anybody to cause you to lose your self-respect to the point that you do not struggle for justice. However young you are, you have a responsibility to seek to make your nation a better nation in which to live. You have a responsibility to seek to make life better for everybody.